So children, before we start with the class, let us see the pledge. Place your right hand on your heart and please repeat, I, Shruti Narayan, commit to be vigilant and bear in mind at all times the risk to myself and my colleagues from COVID-19. I promise to take all necessary precautions that prevent the spread of this deadly virus. I promise to follow and encourage others to follow the key COVID appropriate behaviors. To always wear a mask, face cover, especially when in public places, to maintain a minimum distance of 6 feet from others, to wash my hands frequently and thoroughly with soap and water. Together, we will win this fight against COVID-19. So, children, uh, there are two chief types of variable winds, the cyclones and the anticyclones. In today's class, we'll study mainly about the cyclones. So, a cyclone is a low pressure area surrounded by high pressure areas from all the sides. It is circular or elliptical in shape. Winds move from all sides to the central low. You all know that winds blow from areas of high pressure to areas of low pressure. So in this slide, as you can see, there is low pressure in the center, and you can see as we move outwards, the value of the isobars keeps on increasing. So winds move from high pressure towards the low pressure. They assume anti-clockwise direction in the northern hemisphere and clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere due to the Coriolis force, which is created by the rotation of the earth. Depending upon their area of origin, their nature, and the weather associated with them, the cyclones are divided into following two broad categories, the temperate cyclones and the tropical cyclones, and we'll study about each of them. In the previous class, children, we had studied about the formation of tropical cyclones, their effect, and in today's class, we'll study about the temperate cyclones, which are also referred to as mid-latitude depression or extratropical cyclones. They are frontal in origin, about which I'll be explaining. They develop in the region extending between 35 to 65 degree latitude in both the hemispheres. The temperate cyclones are formed due to convergence of contrasting air masses, that is, the light tropical air mass and the cold, dense polar air masses. So the temperate cyclones, as I told you, that they are formed due to the convergence of two different air masses. The warm air, because it is lighter, it tends to ascend over the cold air which lies near the ground. The zone of contact between the two air masses is well marked and is known as the front. So front is actually, in simpler terms, the boundary zone between two different air masses which differ in terms of temperature, pressure and humidity. So the temperate cyclones are of frontal origin because they are associated with the formation of fronts. So when the warm air rises up above the cold air mass, it starts to cool. The water vapor that it contains starts to condense, and thus this results in rainfall. The temperate cyclones are much larger than the tropical cyclones. They have a diameter of 1,000 to 2,000 kilometers or even more. These cyclones are oval in shape and the pressure gradient is less than that of the tropical cyclones. Hence, winds are of moderate velocity. The cyclones are accompanied by cloudiness and rainfall. The approach of a temperate cyclone is marked by a fall in temperature, fall in the mercury level, wind shifts, and a halo around the sun and the moon. A light drizzle follows, which turns into heavy downpour at times. These cyclones are more frequent in winter than in the summer season. The temperate cyclones are accompanied by alternating anticyclones. The origin and influence of these cyclones is in the temperate zone, due to which they are known as the temperate cyclones. They are also referred to as depressions. They are more active during the winter season in the northern hemisphere, but due to prominence of water area in the southern hemisphere, they are active the year round in the southern hemisphere. Because they travel from west to east, they are also referred to as western disturbances. And if you remember, children, you must have studied in class 8 that India, the northern part of India, particularly Punjab, Haryana, western UP, they receive rainfall from the western disturbances, which are actually temperate cyclones that travel all the way from the Mediterranean Sea and cause rainfall. In a few days from now, we'll be receiving rainfall. So, this rainfall is actually beneficial for the cultivation of wheat. Now, children, let us see the difference between the tropical and the temperate cyclone. This table is there in your textbook as well. The tropical cyclones are produced mainly over the sea. The temperate cyclones, on the other hand, are produced on land as well as on sea. The tropical cyclones, as the name suggests, they develop between 8 to 20 degrees north and south, while the temperate cyclones are found in the mid-latitudinal region between 35 to 65 degree latitude in both the hemispheres. The tropical cyclones are limited to small area, whereas the temperate cyclones, they occupy areas measuring thousands of kilometers. The tropical cyclones travel from east to west, whereas the temperate cyclones travel from west to east. The tropical cyclones are forecasted by high temperature and humidity but still air, meaning calm conditions. If you remember, we had studied this. And the temperate cyclones, they are characterized, they are forecasted by the fall in temperature and pressure, wind shifts, and a halo around the sun and the moon. The tropical cyclones are associated with violent winds, with great speed, dense clouds, and heavy rains. On the other hand, the temperate cyclones, the wind speed is low and the rainfall is light, which continues for a few days. The tropical cyclones are largely a summer phenomena, while the temperate cyclones are more intense in the winter season.